What does victory look like in Ukraine?
It's not victory when you smile, applause. It's not about it. To my mind, there is no victory with applause. Yes, in the war, because a lot of losses. So that's why, for us, to survive is a victory. Because we are surviving with our identity, with our country, with our independence.
That was President Zelensky speaking with me in September about Ukraine's future. Senate Intelligence Committee Vice Chair Mark Warner joins me now. Good to see you this morning, Senator. What is your reaction to this peace proposal that is on the table?
My reaction is it's awful. It would make Neville Chamberlain's giving in to Hitler, the outset of World War II, look strong in comparison. The fact that this was almost a series of Russian talking points would require Ukraine to give up the totality of the Donbass, parts they still control, cut back their military forces going forward, never be able to join NATO. This would be a complete capitulation, and it's why I think you're hearing from Congress, both sides, people pushing back, and obviously the Europeans feel like they've been totally left high and dry.
You've heard the deadline from President Trump, but then him saying that's not, there's room for negotiation here, it seems like. So what do you think happens on Thursday?
It feels like this was a plan that they took almost entirely from the Russians, did no consultation with Congress, no consultation with the Europeans, obviously didn't read in Zelensky and the Ukrainians, and now they're getting ferocious pushback. So one more time, Trump is changing his deadlines. Of course, how he picked Thanksgiving to start with, I have no idea. But now, even with this this back and forth that it's not really an American plan, or is it an American plan? This is the kind of chaos that unfortunately represents so much of the Trump foreign policy.
So what do you think President Zelensky should do? He's been through this before. It's kind of back and forth with this White House. They support you, they pull it back. Do you think all of this proposal, which seems to heavily favor Russia, is that just a starting point?
Well, I would hope so.
Again.
I would hope so. The Ukrainians have performed magnificently in the field. They are reinventing the nature of warfare in terms of use of drones. To have this proposal forced upon them, I think, as Zelensky said, Ukrainian dignity versus giving up a partner. I would hope the president would not be so weak as to try to force this plan on the Ukrainians and our other allies. It would, I think, send not only a horrible signal for Europe, but the person who's watching this probably the most closely is President Xi in China. And if the Americans are willing to throw in their towel so much like this on Ukraine, you can bet that Xi's thinking this gives him a clearer path in terms of taking Taiwan.
But what does Zelensky do here? If on Thursday the president says, I'm telling you right now, take what we've got on the table, and there'd probably be some changes, or we're done. What does Zelensky do? Just hope that Europe rises and helps him out?
You have overwhelming support still for Ukraine. The last Ukraine aid package had 80% of the Congress. I think the president is seeing this one-sided plan kind of blow up in his face with pushback from the Ukrainians, from the Europeans, from members of Congress of his own party. And my hope is he'll come back and be a bit more reasonable.
I want to turn to Venezuela. We're all watching that this week. What can you tell us about what you think happens now? We've got this massive buildup. We've got this massive show of force. We have airlines that aren't flying there because of all the activity and the military activity right now. Do you expect something more to happen?
Well, historically, the United States' intervention in Central America or South America has not always rolled out the way we'd hope. Maduro was a bad guy, frankly, under Biden. When the Venezuelan people voted in overwhelming numbers, Biden should have put more pressure on getting Maduro out then. It was a mistake. But now, to have this much armed forces, we have not been briefed on any military action that would have been authorized. He keeps putting word out that maybe he has authorized, maybe he's not. We are trying to get the answer on that. But there is a real question, to take this big a fleet, bring our largest aircraft carrier, put them there, to further blow up boats that they claim have drugs on them. Frankly, they could have interdicted some of those boats and shown the world that there were drugs. In terms of Venezuela, the legal opinion about the drug running doesn't touch Venezuela at all. So the president would have to come back and brief us.
Trump says he'll be speaking with Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. Do you think that is a good idea? And what can you say to him?
Listen, I think the notion that Trump says he'll talk to anyone, I think that is, I'm not going to critique him on that. If there's a way to push Maduro out, remember, our government and 50 other governments, most all of Western Europe, don't recognize the Maduro government as legitimate. But it does not feel like there is a organized plan, and coming down again, America only, without any of our other allies in South America or Central America, again, seems not the right approach to me.
What could happen short of a show of force? When you have that massive a show of force, it's almost like you're in a position where you have to do something or you might look weak. Short of Maduro saying, okay, I'll leave, then what does he do?
Well, again, that's the million-dollar question. And as you know, when you've got this many forces down there, and you can't keep the carrier positioned there for forever, you also have the chance of an accident happening or a conflict between the Venezuelan Air Force or some of our planes that.
Do you think he wants to go to war with Venezuela? Do you think
I don't
he wants
know.
to
I don't know. I think he is trying to put outside pressure on Maduro, but by doing it in this kind of America-only approach, again, without giving any sign to, I think, even the Republicans on the Hill, what his plans are, I'm not sure is the right way to do foreign policy. You couple this Venezuela misadventure with this desertion of Ukraine, and this is not making America safer, and it's sure not putting America first.
Thanks very much for joining us, Senator. Always appreciate it.